Hello YouTube, welcome back to the Advance Wars 2 Situation Room playthrough. The next map is called Snatch Oasis, the first in a series of 3 maps that were very heavily reliant on features from Advance Wars DS, so I would say I kind of butchered them in the transition to Advance Wars 2. It probably would have been better to just pick 3 other maps, but there weren't any other maps I was planning on including in this little collection, like, that would work for Advance Wars 2. So let's just get into it. So, Snatch Oasis. The enemy CO in this game is Kanbei, but in the original incarnation of the map, the enemy CO was Colon. And since this is a heavily pre-deployed map, I thought I should probably change it to Kanbei in order to make it harder. But that wound up making this one beast of a map, because Kanbei in this version now has lots of bombers, lots of B-copters. So I wasn't planning on, like, repeating a CO selection this early in the playthrough. Like, with these War Room playthroughs, I prefer to use every CO at least one time. So I didn't want to, like, do a repeat selection this early, but I don't really see any other way to S-rank this besides with Olaf, so this is what I'm going with. And I have a method for completing this very quickly down pat. So what we're going to do is that the fighters, we first have to get rid of them, first and foremost. And I don't want to really divert the anti-airs to destroying them, because the anti-airs, I want to use those to deal with the B-copters and bombers. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a classic trap. I don't know if anybody really uses the trap the way I am, but the first thing I'm going to do is basically make a wall of units around the air units that I start the game with. And then you'll see what the next part of the trap is after that. So we need to lure this B-copter up here. And we'll put the anti-air ready to attack it. And I want to get rid of this artillery as well. So move up and attack it. I'll just weaken it for now. I don't really need to, like, destroy it or anything. So I want to move this tank so that it's not... It's going to be in range of either the mech or the tank. So I feel like I've done something on this opening turn wrong, but I could be wrong. I guess I'll just go like this. We can deal with the aftermath later. So, Kanbei's first turn. Also, I think this is one of those maps where the designer pointed out a specific objective that you're supposed to have. Because I think the objective is to capture everything that's around the oasis, those 3 buildings there. Hence the name, Snatch Oasis. But yeah, you can't really... Well, you could implement objectives like that, I think. You can now, at least. Like, back in the day, I didn't really know how to do that. So the fighters can't really hit anything with everything positioned like this. So that's fine. I didn't even really need this infantry, but I'll block it... try to block them off anyways. I could attack his fighter now, as a matter of fact, but do I want to do that? Let's see what his meter looks like. I have a feeling that he's going to, like, have a samurai spirit ready at the end of this turn, because I'm attacking his bomber now. I have to do that. The bomber is too big a threat to just leave it there. And the medium tank, I think I better just move the rocket out of the way here so the medium tank can deal with the tank unit, or at least try to. And we will weaken this unit and move the recon away. Yeah, there's a lot of unused space on this map. This whole section up here is basically not going to get used. That's interesting. Does he have it? Yeah, he totally has it. I knew he was going to have it. So we'll wait for him to Samurai Spirit, and then we will start... Maybe if I attacked now, I could get... Winter Fury. I still can't believe that. Alright, I'm going to try it. Alright, so that did not get us a Winter Fury. I still can't believe I named it that. Alright. We have to deal with Samurai Spirit. Kind of unfortunate, but can't really do anything about it. I haven't lost that many units yet. Although attacking with that recon was probably not a good idea, because now I can lose another unit. So that's 1 unit, that's 2 units, 3 units, oh boy. 4 units, that's not good. 5! Our technique score is going to be completely terrible. Anyways, let's go ahead and use this. It's still hilarious, I think. I must have gotten that from, like, an online video series that I watched ages ago that did a bunch of stupid stuff like I used to. Alright, so we're not going to be able to block off one of these units. So we'll have to go like this, I think. Oh, he'll never make it all the way around to hit the B-copters anyways, so that's fine. At the very least, those units are, those air units on the left there are a non-issue now. And this bomber can't hit me, so plenty of time to move the anti-airs around here. So yeah, I've managed to find 2 very effective uses for Olaf. Who'd have thought, right? Alright, so we also need to get rid of that mech unit on the base, or he's going to capture it. This should be fine. Time to finally make an anti-air here. There we go. You know, actually, I could probably just surround the fighters with my other units, and then the B-copters would be free to move around. I should have thought of that sooner. And thanks to that artillery sitting on the base, he's not going to be able to build anything, although his cash is going to build up. It's building up very, very slowly because he's only getting... what? He's only getting... something really small, like 4,000 a turn, I think. Got to make sure he doesn't capture that base, so I've got to get rid of this first. I think the medium tank can survive another hit. Let's do this and make another anti-air. I'm hoping the fighters will join on this upcoming turn. I don't think this does anything much for his defense outside of the usual +10 that comes with powers, but, yeah, it doesn't seem to be doing much at all, and I gotta get that medium tank out of there. So, I think it's safe where it is. And there's the other. Let's hope the score is good. 293. Alright, that's an S rank. Surprisingly very kind technique ranking. Alright, so this next map is definitely one that is most certainly intended for Advance Wars DS, because Death by Dunes, originally Hawk had only pre-deployed units and a bunch of comm towers to put his attack power at 200%, but we are playing in Advance Wars 2 where there are no comm towers, at least not at this point in hacking history. So I decided to go with something significantly more stupid. I gave Hawk all of these cities and buildings to produce from. It just ended up making the map much, much worse than it originally was. Like, you can imagine having to deal with plus 200 units with Jugger against Hawk, but this is actually even worse. This is, like, not good. I mean, like, I remember when Saru Marine actually found my ROM hack and decided to play it, he could not beat this. And maybe he wasn't that good at Advance Wars, but it's rather telling that he couldn't beat it. If he could beat his original creation. And, I think it would be interesting to try this map in its original incarnation on Advance Wars DS as well, because you have things like this tank up here. You have to deal with a plus 200 tank if you want to be able to have that airport. So another point of interest. So, in order to beat this, you notice that I've selected Nell. There's no real reason for it. I just thought, you know, I may as well select her. There's no penalty for selecting her, so yeah. So there's actually a way to thwart this in Advance Wars 2, but it involves exploiting the AI, so that's probably, like, dishonorable. But the way you do it is to place one of your tanks, actually I'm gonna destroy it with a medium tank first. You place a regular tank here. Now, in this position, none of these enemy units can do anything. The artillery is not close enough to fire at the tank, and it cannot get close enough because this blocked recon, it just refuses to get out of the way for the other units. This is pretty common in intelligent systems strategy games, blocking off a choke point like that. So that's the way you beat this. In Advance Wars 2, with all of these buildings, you just get all of these very strong units to, like, be rendered completely useless in this blockade, and then you can just go crazy with the HQ over here and run over and capture it. So this is interesting. I can actually attack this recon. That normally doesn't happen. And at some point you want an anti-air because there's going to be air units coming up as well, eventually. And other than that, just build up your cash a little bit and make sure you're ready to deal with all of these guys. And destroy those infantry, because in Advance Wars 2, if you destroy the AI's infantry units first, then it forces them to build more infantry. Alright, so attacking that medium tank will put us in range of the rocket, but I think I'm going to take the hit. Just because I don't want to deal with a medium tank. And like I said, my selection of Nell, there's no real reason behind it. I just like having the little bit of extra damage on occasion. If she gets lucky. It's nice to be able to get that. So yeah, normally a very tough map. I think it's beatable, but it would be highly... Oh, we've got a black wave, because Hawk's AI can do that. He can use his CO power in the middle of his turn or at the end of it. I don't think this hurts anything. It's possible for the Neo Tank to get destroyed now, but he doesn't go for it. Alright, so you can see how his units are building up here. But he did go for a T-copter instead of a B-copter, so that's helpful. Now, I need to think about this, because I definitely want to get the copter out of the way and get at the artillery, and hopefully, maybe, like, if I get Lady Luck, the CO power, it would be nice to be able to potentially hit the rocket for massive damage, so let's see if I can punch through and get to it in time. I don't think I'm going to be able to get to Lady Luck quick enough. So one of our units is going to get hit here. Yeah, I think it's probably best to ignore the... Oh, unless hitting the artillery like this... No, if I hit the artillery, then I can't move through and move on to the other units. So I'm just going to pull out my Neo Tank. And something's going to get hit by the artillery, but there aren't that many threatening units, so I don't really think I have a problem quite yet. I think that's fine. And Hawk using Black Wave that early is actually pretty good, because it means he can't get the Black Storm at all for the rest of the map. And I also discovered, upon looking at Hawk's dossier, that I actually took away all of his day-to-day unit boosts. There are a lot of really dumb balance changes I made, because that's how I thought balance could be implemented, by just taking away, for one, Hawk's unit boosts day-to-day. All of them. That was silly. But if it makes this map easier, it's fine. So now we have Lady Luck active. And we have to hope for luck. That's how it is with Nell. So it would be really nice to one-shot this anti-air. Didn't happen, of course. Thanks, Nell. Except not. So yeah, rather inefficient CO power. But that's how it is with luck. Sometimes it's good and sometimes it's not. I should not have... Well, that infantry was capturing that city, so I can't really do anything about it. The enemy is also really blocked in now that I look at them. Like, normally at this point they would have a rocket or something, or a B-copter, but they don't really have anything, and we're just kind of pushing through until we reach that HQ and start capturing. Deal with this. I hope I don't lure any enemy units on the left side. No, can't do it. Yeah, so let's build that APC so we can get something to the HQ quicker. I have no idea what they're going to do now. They only have that row of cities to work with. But a lot of money, so they could... they didn't really buy anything bad. Though I do have to waste this medium tank's turn because I have to move it out of the way. Using the unit in the back first. Get this artillery started working on those guys, and yeah, map's almost done. So yeah, that may have looked like a tough map, but I'm sure it was very much boring. Oh, here's another black wave. That may not have been the most exciting playthrough of a map, but yeah, sometimes some maps are just like that. I don't really know. Oh wow, they can't do anything. Right, artillery on him and him. Now to get the EPC out of the way. Oh. Do we... Well, I can drop the infantry and start capturing on the next turn at least, so we're almost done. One more turn. And what turn is it? It is turn 10, so I'm not worried about speed, but technique is going to be the big thing. Well, no, actually, I haven't lost any units, so what am I thinking? Power is what I'm worried about.
Mission complete.
Nope, perfect S rank. There was no reason to be worried at all. So on this last map for this video, I'm going to use Flak, because this map, in transitioning to Advance Wars 2, became really... Oh, this isn't the map I was talking about. Huh. Oh, I was thinking of this map. Why was I thinking of 180 Fjord? Oh well. So the next map is called Cactus Pipe Canyon. I think that's its full title. So it's not going to be Flak, it's actually going to be Grit. I'll have to save Flak for another stage. So this map, I think it's intended to involve pipe runner use, because all of these pipes suggest pipe runners. Because these were made for Advance Wars DS. But the thing is, like, even in Advance Wars DS, you have so little money to work with that I don't think, I don't really think pipe runners would be feasible at all. Because they cost 20,000 and your income starts at 4,000. The enemy CO is Colin. Originally, the enemy CO was Sasha. So I don't really know what difference that would really make, but we've got to break out of these pipes. You're just going to spend like a decent amount of time breaking out of pipes. And I guess while you were doing that, Sasha would be using her boosted income to, I don't know, do something, I suppose. I don't really know. Let's see, what should I do here? This pipe breaks on the next turn, so maybe I'll prematurely build an APC so it can get moving immediately. Normally I would build an artillery up here and start breaking out to these properties, but I don't really think that's necessary. So since it's Colin instead of Sasha, I should actually discuss my changes to Colin in this hack, because he now has 90% unit prices instead of 80%, and I think his unit stats are weakened down to 90. I think that's what they were in vanilla as well. But my thinking was, oh, he pays 90% for his units, so he should only get 90% units, is my thinking. And that does kind of make his income match up with Sasha's, because Sasha has 110% income. And with Colin having 90% prices... Oh, there's a tank in the way. What should I do with that? Maybe wait for it to move away, but it could move closer. A change that I made to Grit in this hack is that he lost his +1 indirect range. He kept the firepower boost, but he did not keep the range boost. I did that because I figured, you know, I just hated the range boost so much. I thought it was completely unfair. Alright, the tank's moving away. What are they doing? What are they moving towards? I get that the HQ is down here, but geez. And, like, why is there this base with this pipe here? Like, they're never going to break out of that. Maybe the AI would be smart enough in Advance Wars DS, but yeah. I keep referring back to Advance Wars DS because it's really telling, like, how much this was really designed with DS in mind. I mean, like, there's 6 maps that I can think of that I absolutely did not copy over into this ROM hack because it would be completely impossible to recreate them. Because one of them involves lots and lots of Uzium, which, not in Advance Wars 2. Another involves a gimmick where you sneak a black boat through a stealth level. Obviously, that's not going to happen, because it's too gimmicky for the war room anyways. And I think there was also a map where Colin has 50 units. 50 pre-deployed units against, like, I think it was Kindle and Koal. In, like, a giant fortress. So I decided not to implement that one either, because it was part of the same set as the other two I just mentioned, so no reason to do that, really. Right, so where was I? Capturing this base, probably going to start building medium tanks out of it and go raid that HQ. Just gotta make sure... Alright, so that base is pretty much secure. I don't think anything he builds could survive 2 artillery shots. But we'll make it 3 artillery shots just to be sure. Oh, but I've probably lured the tank away from the HQ, which is good. I can destroy it too. But he is building powerful units now. Let's put the unit there and see what happens and build a Neotank. Even a Grit Neotank is very, very powerful. And even with just the firepower boost, Grit is still amazing in ground warfare. Colin's going to use Gold Rush. I'm getting a Steam notification. Oh yeah, and there were also 3 of Saru Marine's maps that I did not want to implement simply because they were all dual screen maps. It should be obvious why I can't do that. You know, all this talk of Advance Wars DS, you know, I was thinking of porting this ROM hack to Advance Wars DS so that you could play it as intended. Like, you can even do war room capture missions very easily in Advance Wars DS hacking. But Advance Wars DS hacking is a lot harder than Advance Wars 2. And I've already gone over this in the previous video, so I'll spare you now. But anyways, we're almost done. We just have to get to that HQ. It's gonna be trouble because there's a rocket blocked off by an anti-air. So this could be tricky. We're going to have to take a hit. Now, it all depends. Does the... Ooh, I guess the anti-air is going to retreat back, but it all depends on what the rocket decides to attack. Might as well move these artilleries in, too. Keep this base blocked off. Blocking off that base is probably not a good move, because it's preventing Colon from building from that instead of the one near the HQ. And the AI tends to prefer building away from the HQ. So the rocket went for the tank, which is actually really good, but now we, oh boy. See, this is getting sticky because we now have that artillery in front of the HQ where it can block it. So let's... I should have saved snipe attack for now. I think I will just do this and... what do I do? The rocket could shoot my infantry, but maybe it'll go for the Neo-Tank instead. Oh, but the infantry could attack it too. I'll keep the APC there. This is surprisingly more tactical than it normally would be. And he just gold rushes again. But as long as that rocket keeps firing its stuff, it's blocking off the base. And letting his cash build up, too. Alright, so that's good. Now we pretty much win so long as nothing strange happens. The rocket will fire at the APC. And I can keep the artillery in check like this. So yeah, we pretty much win now. Haven't lost a single unit, so this is turning out to be one of the easier maps, in spite of how long it's taking me. Haven't even used a CO power yet. And why not? Destroy it, block the base. Oh, the infantry can attack. Uh-oh. We're gonna be delayed another turn. No, it went for the... Oh, it can't. It has to cross 2 river tiles to get to the HQ. I forgot about that. Alright, so that's map number 3 for this video cleared. So that should be a perfect. Yep. And next time I will see you all for the next set of 3 maps in this little adventure. And what an adventure it is turning out to be. I'm all nostalgic for the days when I was not so good at Advance Wars hacking.